Today we're going to talk about the new Blu-ray release from Studio Canal, Louis Bunuel's That Obscure Object of Desire. Louis Bunuel was a surrealist filmmaker for the most part, and this one here has some surreal elements. But it's played straight for a lot of the film. What is interesting is one element some people might point out as being surreal is that there is two different actresses playing the female lead in the film in different scenes, but apparently there is no real reason for that other than the original actress had to leave the film, and someone said we should get two actresses just in case we lose another one, so they got two actresses in and then they split up the scenes between them. I guess Louis Bunuel thought that was pretty funny. The film was quite bizarre and twisted, and I don't really want to give away too much of the plot for those who might not have seen it, but That Obscure Object of Desire was based on an 1898 novel of the same name, and it marked Louis Bunuel's final film. It's recounted in a flashback to a group of railway travellers. The story wryly details the romantic perils of Mathieu, a wealthy, middle-aged French sophisticate who falls desperately in love with a 19-year-old former chambermaid, Conchita. Now, the Blu-ray itself, like a lot of the Studio Canal films, comes in this beautiful book format, with sort of a screen print style photography and typesetting. This beautiful sort of material they've got on here, and they're quite narrow. Now, something I noticed for the first time, they have put the name of the film on in the right direction so that you can put this in your collection and it will face, the writing will face the same way as all the other films previously. You've had to do this to make it match. So that is a good addition by Studio Canal. Now, the Blu-ray itself may cause a little bit of difference of opinion among people who see it, whether there has been DNR applied to the film. There's not much grain in the film, but not all films show up the same amount of grain as others. Many films are shot on a very fine-grained film, depending on the quality of the film or the look the filmmaker's going for. I don't see any or much to point towards DNR as far as the facial textures. No one really looks too waxy or anything. Detail seems fairly strong, stronger than I was expecting for this particular film, having seen it in standard definition. And it's clear of any sort of artifacts or noise, flecks or damage. It's a pretty strong, clean print. It has a little depth, but not too much, and it's a pretty clear print. As I say, people might point to DNR, and there might be some applied, but I think if it is applied, it has been applied in a fairly limited fashion, because it still looks quite filmic in quality. Now, the audio is just in 2.0, as would have been theatrically, and it's a dialogue-heavy film, and you can hear all the dialogue quite clear. And it's a fine, the audio is not going to blow you away, but it's really not that kind of film. Now, let's talk about bonus material. You have an interview with Jean-Claude Carrière, an interview with Carlos Saura, and a section called Double Dames, an interview with Carol Bouquet and Angela Molina. I believe those are the two girls who play the same lead female role. And a portrait of Louis Bunuel. It's an interview with Pierre Larry and Edmund Richard. And of course the booklet that I showed you before inside. It's as good a starting place as any for to see a Louis Bunuel film. It is his last film, but it is one of his better ones, and it is slightly more accessible than some of his overly surreal films. I would probably recommend either starting with this one or The Exterminating Angel. We'll mention though that it is Region B locked, so if you are outside the Region B area you'll need a Region 3 player. This one comes as This Hidden World recommended.